Let's meet our judges for today's competition. Wedding cake designer and Hall of Fame sugar artist from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Kerry Vincent.
You might not know the name, but the accent is unmistakably Australian.
That should have been ironed out before they even got here. He doesn't have those skills. I think they were a little simplistic. Anybody that comes here and thinks it's a walk in the park or it's a cakewalk, they're out of their minds.
In the cutthroat world of cakes, Aussie Kerry Vincent cuts a controversial figure.
People say, oh, she's mean, but there's a difference between mean and honest. And if people don't want to hear the truth to help themselves improve themselves, then they've got a problem and they shouldn't be here.
She's even been compared with the nastiest TV judge of all.
That was a complete and utter nightmare.
So I've been called the Simon Cowell of cake. I've been called the dominatrix of decorating. I'm the sultana of sugar. All sorts of weird and wonderful names.
Kerry doesn't care what she's called while she's watched by millions of viewers. Today we're on the set of the American Food Network's Challenge program, just one of Kerry's 3 hit shows.
We do more and more and more episodes of cake. And when they're doing cake, I'm a happy camper because I'm the cake girl.
Americans love their cake.
They do.
So how did Kerry Vincent get here to Denver, Colorado as a tough-talking judge on a TV cooking show? Well, she turned cake making into an art form. You see, Kerry makes cakes that have to be seen to be believed. You and I might call it baking a cake. To the experts, it's sugar art.
It is art. It's all the things that a fine artist could do.
And Kerry Vincent is the undisputed master artist.
I have actually been awarded 2 Halls of Fame, so and they're international, so it's quite a heady cocktail for an old lady, I think.
Kerry Flynn, as she was then, was born in Wildcatcham, Western Australia, grew up in Mount Many Peaks near Albany.
When you're on a farm in Australia, you know very well every hand on deck. And it doesn't matter how little you are, you pull your weight.
As a young girl, Kerry made cakes for shearers.
We were very busy churning out sponge cake and lots of scalded cream and jam. Probably clogged their arteries, poor darlings.
She took up modelling in Perth, made the finals of the 1964 Miss Australia contest. But it wasn't until she married Doug Vincent and moved to Oklahoma that Kerry discovered her passion for wedding cakes.
I had an arrow in my quiver that nobody else did. I had knowledge of what was happening in Australia, what I'd grown up with, the expectation of a wedding cake, and the refined style of Australian decorating, which is exquisite.
In a few short years, Kerry changed the face of cakes with an old-fashioned favourite.
There will always be buttercream. That's the sort of bread and butter of the cake industry in the United States, but if you want really something phenomenal, you're going to do plastic icing the old-fashioned way. My name is Kerry Vincent. I'm the show director for the Oklahoma State Sugar Art Show.
20 years ago, Kerry dreamed of starting her own sugar art show.
I went to New York and told the happy little souls up there what I planned to do, and there was like, oh yawn, that will never happen in Oklahoma. Wrong thing to say to an Australian person with great determination.
Now the show attracts 82,000 visitors each year. This 10-metre tall sugar superstructure holds the world record for the biggest edible scene.
Sometimes I have to pinch myself now to believe that all of this is happening to me.
Next came the TV career.
As you know, Australians are pretty bloody-minded and no-nonsense, and they wanted a bloody-minded, no-nonsense judge. Well, he sounds a bit bulletproof to me. At the end of the day, who cares?
The contestants quake before the Queen of Cake.
She can be very intimidating because she's very direct.
Flattery will get you nowhere.
I'm not scared of Kerry.
That's really quite silly, as far as I'm concerned.
So what's it like standing before her? Do you get a bit nervous?
I do, it makes you sweat.
And if they're not doing as they should, then I'm going to tell them about it.
She's not acting that role. She takes cake very seriously. You know, cake is Kerry's whole life.
Keegan Gerhard is a fellow judge on the show.
She's not cruel. I think she's quite appropriate. She's not afraid to tell someone when they don't have the skill set to do this, that they don't.
So what are the ingredients that make cooking shows so popular?
I actually liken it to gladiatorial sport. Used to be that these gladiators killed themselves for the people to watch. Then we went to football, And now we have armchair watchers watching cake.
She's a worldwide known figure and really the ultimate authority on cake in a country that is currently featuring 7 cake shows in prime time.
I was good at what I did, and they recognised that, and so here we are.
Not bad for a girl from the Aussie outback.
It's been a hell of a ride, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.